Promotional consideration for the following video paid by Pants Bulge Sliders. Bring some home for that special someone tonight. And The Vocal Minority, now new and improved with even more self-entitled whining. Hello internets and welcome, I am Enigmius, and today by request, talking about the top 5 things to know about Guild Wars 2 for vets from other MMOs. Guild Wars 2 features numerous breaks from what we've come to see as the standard in MMORPGs over the last 5 to 8 years. Knowing these differences ahead of time is key to transitioning smoothly. I just want to take a moment to talk about what this video is not intended to cover. First of all, it's not intended to review in excruciating detail every mechanic in Guild Wars 2 that is different from the standard MMORPG template. It's also not intended to compare Guild Wars 2 to other MMOs in an attempt to determine which is better. Number 1 on our list, no Trinity. By Trinity, we're referring to the standard group composition of tank, healer, and DPS. In Guild Wars 2, there are no tanks and there are no healers. You can build for survivability, and you can build for support, which would include some healing, but as far as building to stand there and soak a bunch of big hits while the monster sticks to you and receive healing from someone else whose job is to stand there and do nothing but heal, that just doesn't happen in Guild Wars 2. This lends itself to a different dynamic in group content, and the extent of those differences sort of depends on which content you're involved in. I will be producing a video in the near future discussing that in a little more detail, but for now, suffice it to know that there will be a transition for a lot of people who are used to the tank and healer dynamic. Number 2 on our list, no quest hubs. You'll notice I didn't say no quests. There are quests in Guild Wars 2 that are related to your personal story, but they are not the driving mechanic for progression in PvE. Guild Wars 2 features Renown Hearts, which serve the purpose of guiding you around the map to areas where you will find content appropriate to your level, but the focus is on the dynamic events, the exploration, the crafting, the gathering, the world versus world PvP, and not linear quest progression. In that regard, Guild Wars 2 resembles something of a theme park sandbox hybrid in that you do have the different events in the theme park style, but you don't have the developers leading you around by the nose telling you where to go at all times. Number 3, no PvP servers. The open world PvP dynamic in Guild Wars 2 will be facilitated by the world versus world system, which is 3 servers competing against each other in large map, objective-based PvP matches that last a full 2 weeks. At the end of each match, rankings are established and servers are shuffled based on those rankings in order to preserve a competitive atmosphere. If you'd like more information on the world versus world in Guild Wars 2, you can consult the wiki or do a Google search for Guild Wars 2 world versus world. Right now I do have plans to do a video series on world versus world, but that won't be done until sometime after launch. Number 4, there will be no raiding in Guild Wars 2. Now you'll notice I didn't use the term that there's no endgame. We've recently learned that the highest level area in the game will involve zone-wide meta events to capture and control various different points on the map, and for doing so, players will be granted access to a high-level dungeon. We also know that PvE level scaling prevents content from becoming obsolete, and the devs will be adding new events throughout the world on a regular basis. What this means is even though your actual level is higher than a particular zone, if a new event is added or you just want to explore, you can still do that and still be rewarded for doing so. On the PvP end of things, there will still be the world versus world aspect, but there's also structured PvP, which offers competitive ranked PvP matches for small teams. Number 5, there's no Gear Treadmill at the level cap. Gear upgrades at level 80 are cosmetic only, meaning that if you want to chase that carrot, you can distinguish yourself from other players based on your appearance, but you don't have to worry about grinding gear for the sake of grinding gear and the performance increase that it will grant. Guild Wars 2 is supposed to be more about playing the game than finishing the game. Whether or not you agree with that, whether or not ArenaNet has hit the mark on that is yet to be seen, but that is the goal. Believe it or not, that's it for this video. I wanted to keep the video as short as possible. Like I said, this is just an overview. If you want more detailed information on anything that I've discussed here, there's going to be some information linked in the information section below the video. If you want to be notified when I add new videos to my channel, make sure and click the subscribe button up top. Between now and the next video, take care and we'll talk to you soon.